Welcome everyone to another episode of Slasher Scotty. I am your host Scotty McCoy, and I am interviewing this week the cast of Samhain, which is a movie that I created, and I have one of the leading ladies in the movie on the phone. It's Sara Cartwright, and she played Regina Hathaway, my mother, in the movie. Hi, Sarah. How you doing?
Hey, Scotty, I'm doing good. Man,
That's
it feels good being on here.
I know, that's great. I'm really excited. I had Brett on yesterday, and I have you on today, and I believe I booked Skylar for tomorrow, so this is really exciting.
Man, right? It's good people right a row, man.
Exactly. So the first question I got for you is, how did you first hear about auditions for Samhain, and what made you want to audition?
So I was always I think I always had like the drama bug in me. Like I
Hmm.
was in my high school drama club, so like acting kind of is almost like second nature for me, I think. And I first heard about the Gravestone Productions actually through Anthony Blackwell.
Okay.
He like shared it on Facebook, and I was just like, oh man, I'm like, this is like local. Like I'm from School County, so I'm like, this is local. Why not try this out? You know what I mean? Like, what's the worst? And plus, I was already doing stand up, comedy. So getting on the stage and getting in front of people is like nothing for me.
Right, exactly. That's awesome. So your character Regina, we know, is a chain smoker. There were fake cigarettes on set, but you decided to use the real ones. Any reason behind that?
My reason behind that was because I always I just you get the real feel, I think, of a cigarette,
Right.
and the effect of the smoke and how you make it work. I mean, I'm not. I would say I'm not. I'm more of like like in real life. I'm more of like a social smoker. Like if I go out drinking, I might have a cigarette. My husband actually smokes cigarettes,
Right.
so I'm kind of used to like cigarette smoke a little bit. So it
Hmm.
wasn't it was a little tough to do, but I just bared with it, and
Right.
I think it made the effect even more better. I think.
I think so too, especially because the scenes where we were smoking the joint, obviously it wasn't a real joint for obvious reasons, and our post production editor Shane Bainbridge was not able to, he was able to put in smoke on it, but he took it out because it looked really phony. It looked really fake. And he's glad that we did use the real cigarettes because you wouldn't get the same effect if the fake cigarettes actually didn't use the smoke.
Yes,
So it definitely worked.
I'm a that determined of an actress there.
As long as
I
you
will
don't get lung cancer. So what was the best part about filming Samhain, and what was the worst?
um. Let me see. The honestly, the best part was just making friends with everyone. Like I said, it was like I've been doing stand up, but doing stand up comedy is obvious a little. I mean, it's a little the same, but but it's different from acting.
Hmm.
But so it was so nice to get back into acting, and you meet up with people who are doing the same goal. You meet. It's funny when you get into this type of industry, you meet people from all different types, from all different ages, all different backgrounds, and we're all like having one goal. And I love that. I love how different it could be and everything. So I think that was like, it was just nice to really get back into acting again, and
Right.
like get like the acting juices and the writing juices like flowing. And the worst part, I think, was I don't know. That's kind of hard to say. I don't think there was really a worst part, honestly.
Right.
I maybe just like that one night that ran really long.
Yeah, that was a
uh,
long day.
that maybe. I mean, that it was. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but if anything, that was probably like the most like, oh, this is a long day kind of thing. So, but
Right.
other than that, I mean, I
Right.
enjoyed the whole process.
Right. For those that are wondering how long it was, oh my gosh, I think we had to be on set for like 8 o'clock, and I believe we ended up finishing at like 11 at night. So it was like 8 in the
Something
morning
like
to
that,
11 at
yeah.
night. It was
It
a
was a
lot.
lot, and that was the day when we had like all the little kids and all the trick treaters. So it was like a
Yes.
big day. So
Yes.
like you're dealing with little kids, and then everyone,
Right.
and then all the actors start getting cranky, and they turn into little kids. No, so,
Exactly.
but that was probably. I mean, it was anytime you get like you start a project, there's always that one big day. I feel like so it was
Right.
just that, honestly.
Right, and I mean, yeah, we had like 10 kid extras on set, and then of course we had a lot of people on set because we had the kids, we had their parents, and then we had the actors that were filming with the kids, and then we had the actors that were filming also without the kids. So it was a very long prepping day, that one. And I believe there was another day where we were on set from like 8 a.m. to like 11 p.m. as well, which was also really long. I mean, we like just fitting all the day scenes in one day and all the night scenes at night, and making sure that like you get all the day scenes done, because once you run out of sun, you can't do any more day scenes, and then it's like then you're back behind schedule.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. So something similar yet different would be, what was your most memorable moment about filming Samhain?
My most memorable. I think that would. Man, this is pretty good. These are pretty good questions.
Thank you.
Most memorable. I would say it would have to be. I think when we were filming that scene with the Jogger,
Yeah.
with Brett's son.
Yes.
Because I was able to kind of like, because I was able to throw like a suggestion in there, but like, let's do it from, like, let's have him start from over here.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of like, giving him like, cues and like certain things like, oh, maybe do it this way, like little ad lib kind of thing.
Right.
And I thought that was so nice because, one of my, I wouldn't say like, I have a lot of dreams, I think, but one of them is actually like, directing a little bit.
Right.
And it made me feel so awesome. Like, it was awesome. Definitely a moment. So that was definitely my most memorable.
Awesome. And I remember, I believe it was you that even said, like, add some character development to this character, because he might not be seen all that long, but throw in some cockiness. So look into the mirror of the one car you're going through and flip your hair, stuff like that.
Right. Like, get angry when you run into him, and everything. Yeah.
Right.
It was definitely very... Yeah, and everyone was so, no one gave you a hard time or anything. Like, everyone was so easy to deal with.
Right.
So that's definitely, like, a breeze.
Exactly. So do you relate to your character, Regina, at all in real life? And if so, how?
Actually, this is the funny thing. I don't think I'm anything like Regina. We are total opposites. Like, here's the big thing. So, like, she's a smoker. Like I mentioned before, like, I don't really smoke. Like, yeah, I have, like, maybe, like, when I drink, but I don't want to really consider that, like, a habit.
Right.
And then, she's kind of, like, bitchy and mean. I mean, some people might say I'm bitchy, but I don't think I'm mean. So there's that.
Right.
Also, Dina hates video games. I am, like, a video game, like, addict. Like, I love video games. Like, I play The Sims all the time. Like, if you call my phone, it's the Crash Bandicoot
Nice.
ringtone.
Nice.
Here. So that's one thing. And I absolutely love Halloween. So
that's awesome.
It was so funny to play Regina because I'm completely opposite from her, and I love doing like characters like that, I think.
Right. Awesome. So what was the atmosphere like on set, and how was it while filming the movie?
On set, it was very fun, honestly. I mean,
Okay.
when you do a lot of projects, like a lot of acting, if you were, in a drama club or any type of club like that where you do perform,
Mm-hmm.
but behind set, you're like, oh, you're goofing off, you're making friends, a lot of selfies were taken.
Right.
During production. But you know what? When we started filming, it took a while for everyone to kind of get their lines down, I think. But I think once we got, like, a picture of what we were doing,
Right.
Everyone was serious, and we, got to it. And like I said, like, we were all like, let's make this suggestion and that. And so it was so nice. Yeah, it was so easy to,
Right.
with this whole project, I think.
Right. So what is your favorite part of your, and I wouldn't say really love-hate relationship, more of a hate-hate relationship with Tyler Ebert's Benjy Turner?
Oh man, that's another thing too. Like, on the screen, me and Tyler's character were like button heads the whole time, but like off scene, like off set or anything, we were always hanging out. We were always joking. We were always like coming up with like, oh, what should we say for to yell at each other and stuff like that. And
Right.
so I think like the fact that we were so close with each other, we were able to like get more into character and be more mean with each other because
Right.
we knew like, oh, I don't really hate her, like, or I don't
Right.
really hate him. And so I think that was definitely interesting. This movie was definitely interesting to make.
Right. So this is a little bit of a tough question that I know. I mean, I don't know what the answer would be for obviously for this one, but it'll be a tough one to think about. But if you could go back and refilm or redo anything about the scenes that you were in, what would they be and why?
I think the one scene I would change, I think, was the breakfast scene where I'm talking with Kelly's character.
Okay.
In the morning, and the reason, I mean, I love that shot. We did a one and done shot, which was amazing. You know, because there was a few times, you know, of other scenes we had to redo and everything. But me and her, we had like the best part. Like, you know, we got that part done. But I wish I would have brought that. We did it outside, and I wish we would have brought it inside or something like that, or maybe start off with her or. Maybe not leaving right away or so. But I mean, it's only like little minor things, I think.
Right. And I think I actually watched that scene multiple times watching the movie back, especially like watching it as somebody that's enjoying the movie, especially at our rap party that we had here a couple days ago. And and I got to finally watch it without a critical eye. I got to watch it as like a fan wanting to watch a movie type of thing this time. And that scene makes me laugh. Like, I mean, there's not much spoilers in this part, but like, just like, you know, you mess, like, you know, picking on Jordan, like you hate your son so much, and Cassie doing the same about her son Will, and then, you know, all that stuff. Oops, give me.
Hello.
I lost her. Sorry about that. I got somebody messaged me on Facebook on
I think I heard that. I heard like a beep beep beep.
Yeah, so and instead of declining it, I answered and put on hold. Oh my god!
Okay.
And I'm like, who's calling me? Like, it was some random person like calling me. I don't know who it was, but yeah. So where were we at now? Oh my god, that's what happens when you're recording when it's not. I mean, it's not live, obviously, but I'm probably gonna put this in as is because it makes it more authentic. But so yeah, about like the breakfast scene. So when we were doing the breakfast scene, yeah, like we were watching at the rap party, and like where you were basically hating on your son Jordan, and Cassie was on Will, and then there was the whole where Cassie just like it's just the whole you guys had so much good chemistry, and the way that Cassie was going, like, you know, Mama's taxi service, it just worked. And for a lot of people that don't know, the film does have a lot of Easter eggs, so keep an eye out for those. Because it is an indie film, so there's going to be a lot of Easter eggs, especially when in movie production and filmmaking, you end up, you know, filming out of order. So like one Easter egg I will mention, because it's not really much of a spoiler, but you don't walk Cassie to the sidewalk. Cassie gets up, walks down to the sidewalk, and goes. But in your phone call to Will, you end up saying that you walked her to the sidewalk to take her so she can go home. So.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yes, so like things like that, like I don't think they're that bad. I mean, not for indie films. If it was like a Hollywood type blockbuster, then that's something that would have to be caught. But this was something that we didn't have the luxury of filming where we desired to film originally for that breakfast scene. So the first scene where you were on the phone with Will was already filmed, and we didn't think about her, your character saying walking her to the sidewalk. And when we changed the location of it. It was outside, yes, and you didn't, but you just never walked to the sidewalk because it wasn't in the script, because everything was changed and it was more of ad-libbed, which is a good thing. I like improvisation because, as long as it follows the plot line, I like improvisation because it actually makes
it feels real.
It feels more real, exactly. So I guess that could be my next question. I'll throw that in. What did you feel about improvisation? Do you think there was too much of it? Do you think that it was just the right amount? Did you like it? Did you not?
I do like it. I mean, I do stand up, so improv is kind of like half in there, so
Right.
I'm used to kind of like thinking on my toes or thinking like what seems natural or what would my character do. Like I said, I feel like I got really into my character, so
Right.
if it seems like if you're watching my character and going, "Wow, she's a bitch," I did my job right because
Right.
that's exactly what I was going for.
Right.
So there I know with like your first film, it's hard to get people to like. I know we kind of were like, oh, here's the lines. If you want to like change it up a little bit, that's good. You know, which was great.
Right.
But it is a little scary sometimes when you have to improv a little bit too much, and then you're like, oh, I hope this is like okay with everyone else. Or,
Right.
But I think we got through it. I think I was pretty confident
Right.
in what we did.
And the thing, improv is good in a way, but then it does allow for, you know, continuity errors. Whereas, you know, Regina says, you know, for example, Regina says, you know, I walked her to the sidewalk, but then because the breakfast scene was mostly ad libbed, she didn't walk her to the sidewalk. So you get things like that happens as well. So like it's not really a bad thing, but it like, because I like Easter eggs personally myself. I like adding those in just because on purpose, just because, you know, it's fun to see that and, you know, laugh at, you know, at the mistake, even especially when they aren't intentional. The next question I have is, did you have any stunt scenes, and if so, what were they, and or if not, what would you have liked? Would you have liked some?
Yeah, I definitely love doing like action scenes. I think, like I said, like I mentioned when I was coaching Brett's son, the Jogger,
Right.
through you know what to do and everything, or hey, maybe do it this way. I do like action, like you know, action scenes. I don't know. I don't really think I had too much of. Okay, I'll say this. I had two examples. When I was chasing you guys out of the house, I would consider that as not really in a high tense action scene, obviously,
Right.
but it was something. And maybe when I dropped the cookie tray.
Right, that was actually pretty cool. That the cookie tray was really
That
good.
was fun because I had to do it a few times because we had to like get it right and everything.
Yep.
So that was oh, and the one scene, I don't know if you can catch it, but there's a moment where you know, you and the friends are talking, and I leave, and you can hear a tea kettle going in the kitchen.
Yes.
And I don't know if you can really pick that up, but I thought that was pretty neat because we like timed that perfectly. I think.
Right. I agree.
And, yeah,
I agree with that.
I definitely would appreciate more action scenes, but it fit my character well. So.
Awesome. I know that the one scene, not the one scene, I mean, like when we were watching it at the rap party, I really wish you were able to attend. I know you got called into work, or you had to go to work, but it would have been nice to see you there and see the movie because everybody couldn't believe like how much of a bitch your character was and how much of a bitch Tyler's character was. Like Tyler's mom was like, holy crap, I literally raised a bitch for a son. Like she couldn't believe what he was doing. And like just the love, it's not even a love hate relationship, it's just you guys loathe each other with every fiber of your being.
Sure. Yeah. The thing is about me and Tyler's character is that we're literally the same person.
Right.
So we're butting heads a lot. You know, we're very headstrong. We're very, you know, cocky. We come up with like, you know, name calling. So I think that's why our characters butt head a lot because we're literally the same person almost.
Right. So the last question I got for you is, do you have any projects or events or any kind of gigs that you would like to promote to our listeners?
Yes. So if you remember Scotty earlier during this whole COVID nightmare,
Yes.
I started writing my own script. It's a horror movie. So like a couple years ago, me and my friend, he's a huge movie buff. He's supposed to be coming to the premiere. We hope that's still the plan. He's from the city, like New York City. So it's kind of iffy right now. They're trying to see how everything goes up there.
Right.
But years ago, there was like this 30-second video challenge, and me and him just like one night came up with this idea, but we never did it, but we did come up with it. And then just during COVID, I thought about it, and I messaged, and I was texting him, and I was like, hey, like, what do you think? Like, should we do this? So we pretty much started writing this.
Right.
I'm like halfway. I did get, at first when you start writing, you're like, oh man, like this is going great. And then there's that one day where you just are stuck on that one word and you just can't, you don't know where to go next. Like, you know what I mean? So I kind of had a few of those days, but I think I'm back on track.
Awesome.
So right now, I mean, it's funny because the title so far, I don't know if this is the real title, but it's called The Unknown.
Okay.
Irony, right?
Right.
But I think it's it's not completely like COVID related, obviously, but there are some like similarities of like when you live through this time, you realize, oh yeah, like I can see where she wrote that or where that fits in there.
Right.
So that's that. I've been doing that a lot.
Okay.
Like I mentioned before, I'm a stand-up comic. I've been doing, comedy. I do open mics and shows. But with COVID, everything's been on standstill. Obviously, we're hoping things are hoping of soon. Everything looks good so far, so we're hoping everything comes up. But I've been just doing open mics online, like virtual mics, like on Zoom. So that's been interesting. But when everything does get back going, I do host a comedy open mic in Schuylkill County. It's the only one that's happening in Schuylkill County right now. It's at the Peps Pub in Port Carbon, and we do it the second Friday of the month. Now, we might go bi-weekly, so it would be like the second and the fourth, but for right now, it's just the second Friday of the month. Just sign up, do comedy, find the Facebook group, Logger Laughs. That's great. Yeah, there's that. And also, if you're interested in checking out any of my, I do have some stand-up clips on YouTube. You can just check out Sara Cartwright. They should pop up. But other than that, that's all I really have going on right now.
Awesome. So sounds like you're keeping busy even with this pandemic going on, which is pretty good actually, because I mean, staying alone in your house, for months on end can get very, tiresome and old rather quickly.
Definitely. Yeah, stay creative out there.
Awesome. So thank you, Sarah, for joining me.
Yeah, thanks,
awesome.
Scotty. This was fun.
Thank you. Yes, it was. So for everybody out there, the movie is Samhain. If you want to know how to pronounce it, it is actually the real pronunciation is Samhain, but it looks like Samhain. You can find out more about it on our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/gravestonefilms. We also have a movie page, www.facebook.com/samhainmovie. And then you can our trailer actually releases on July 23rd. We posted June 23rd. We posted the announcement about that this past weekend. So everybody knows you can see the trailer later this month on Gravestone Films' 2-year anniversary of being in business. And you can catch Sarah in Sound. It'll be in select theaters in October 2020. It'll also be available to stream on Amazon Prime in November 2020. And hopefully it'll be available to stream on other platforms to find out. Tune into Gravestone Films' Facebook fan page to find out. But I thank you, Sarah, again so much. Thank you for taking the time.
Yeah, thank you.
Not a problem. You have a good rest of your night.
Thanks.
All right.
Well.
Bye.
Bye out there.
Yep.